Hi to all you amazing beauties out there. So I am going to do a set on my little fingers. They're so naked and bare right now. I am going to sculpt this set, and I decided I'm going to use the gel precision applicator tubes by Young Nails to do this set. I'm kind of gonna go a little plain. Yeah, right. Rebecca's never gone plain, but I'm thinking about doing a solid color. Of course, I'm gonna add a few little glitters, maybe do a couple different tips, a little different. But I am going to do piercings on 2 of my nails. I'm not sure which piercing charms I'm going to use yet. I have so many from Swarovski. I'm so excited. So this will be a lot of fun. I might do this video in 2 parts, as I know my videos are so long. So I thought at least I'd sculpt a couple nails with you, and we'll go from there, and I'll see how long this video goes and maybe possibly break it up into 2 different parts. But I'm going to be sculpting using the Infinity forms by Glitter Planet. I keep my forms right here, easy to grab, easy to use. So I'm going to lower the camera and we're going to jump right into this video. I have down right now my dental bib. I always put a dental bib down as I want to keep my station nice and clean. And I think I'll use this little container right here. Since I'm using gel, I'm going to add a little gel residue solution into here. So I have it to dip my brush into. You typically don't need a brush when using the precision applicator forms, but I like to keep a brush handy, as sometimes when you're sculpting, you'll need a brush just to help guide it where you need to go, especially with the length that I am doing. But Rebecca, before I start this video or before I start doing anything, I'm going to use my Glitter Planet cuticle pusher, and I'm going to push my cuticles back. I removed my nails the day before yesterday, so I've already trimmed my cuticles. They're nice and trimmed. There's not much going on here, but it's always good to push those cuticles back before starting a set. So that is what I'm going to do. Push these cuticles back. And then I'm going to get my hoof pusher by Glitter Planet. Love this tool, and you'll notice, even though I did this the other day, like I said, there's not much in here because when I removed my set, I got in here pretty good, but you never know. I may have missed some, and I see just a little bit coming off here. I love this hoof pusher. It's solid, it's not rubber. So it does an amazing job at getting in the sides, getting under your cuticles. I stated this in another video. I also have been using it to keep up my nails by cleaning under the tips of my nails. I wear my nails pretty long, and I don't like nothing under my nails. I like them clean all the time. Let me set my nail down here so I can really get in here and push this back. So how are all you beauties doing? I'm so sorry it took me a minute to do a video here. And then I need my, here we go. I'm going to use my metal nail file with the 150 on one side, 180 on another. I love this nail file. It has removable grits. So when you're done with your set or your client set, you just pull this grit right off and put on a new one. I have 2 of these metal nail files just because I use a 100 a lot. So on this one, I have a 150, 180, but on my other one, I have a 100 on both sides. And right now I'm just filing my nails. When I remove a set, I'm not trying to grow my nails. I'm wearing sets all the time, so I clip them off and clip them down as short as possible. It makes removal so easy. I actually have a video on how I remove my acrylic sets. You can remove a set easily in 10 to 15 minutes. I show how I clip them down, how I e-file them off as much as possible. Get all that acrylic off. If you're doing gel sets, I remove all of it off. And then I use my other nail file to kind of get all the rest of it off. And then what I do is I watch the video. Watch the video. It's a short video. It's not long. I go very slow so you can see each step that I do. But I do warm water up so when I set my acetone dish down in it, the warm water heats up the acetone and activates it. So I'm telling you, babes, I say I keep my nails in there probably for 1 to 2 minutes, pull them out, e-file off. I use my gel scraper tool to scrape off the excess. Then I use my e-file to get all the remaining. If there's a little bit left, I stick them back in the warm acetone, and it doesn't take long at all. So for you beauties that are struggling with removals, heat up that water, stick your acetone dish in there, and I'm telling you, if you do not use an e-file, learn how to use the e-file, babes. If anything, let's say, I know there's a lot of techs that like to use the hand file for their sets. That's fine, but for removals, an e-file is your best friend. I'm telling you, you can easily remove a set within 10 to 15 minutes tops. It really is amazing. So right now I'm just prepping my nails. I pushed my cuticles back. I'm not going to trim my cuticles as I just trimmed them the day before yesterday. When I did the removal, I'm just kind of touching my nails up, buffing up the tops, getting that shine off of them. Because you don't want any shine or residue to be on there. And not only that, I just did a video on Kim North's cuticle oils and lashes, and I applied cuticle oil to my nails. So I want to make sure all of that's off. You want a nice, dry, non-shiny surface for your whether it be acrylic or whether it be gels. You want a nice, dry, non-shiny surface for it to adhere to. I'm just using swipe and a clean brush. And when I brush off my nails, I brush away from my cuticle area, not towards my cuticle area, as I do not want to brush all of these, everything that I just, you know, pushed back and then I filed off. If I brush this way, I'm going to brush it into my cuticle, and some of those powders are going to go into your cuticle. So be sure to all. So now I'm going to, I like applying my form on before I add my dehydrator and bond. I always save this little middle piece just in case I may need it, as some of my nails are pretty short. So if they're too short and they're not connecting to your nail, you can use that little middle piece to place where, I'll show you if that happens. So I always pinch the tip first of my form, whether on myself or a client. I measure right here. This fits perfectly, so there's no reason for me to trim. So I'll stick this little girl on. I want to make sure she's even with my nail. I'm going to look from the side. I'm going to look this way and make sure she's straight. Ah, she popped off. These infinity forms are amazing. They're my favorite form. They're by Glitter Planet. I'm going to pinch her nice and tight all the way to the tip, because I'm going to do, I'm not sure if I'm going to do stiletto or if I'm going to do a ballerina or coffin shape, but regardless, I pinch nice and tight. I need to move all my charms that I just ordered. Look at all my charms. Look at all my charms. I put it up on TikTok. All these are new. They're not what I had. They are new. So excited. Charms, crystals, piercing embellishments, more dried flowers, bunch of dried flowers. I got all kinds of goodies. Let me move my little lamp over here because I'm going to be needing her. This is the Nail Mate lamp. Cordless, no battery needed. No cord needed. You just charge her and she's ready to go. And I'm going to grab my, one thing I love about my station is everything that I use is a hand reach away. I'm not having to, I mean, I do get up sometimes. You saw me get up. I love, love, love. I have a bunch of primers, but my favorite is this No Lift primer right here. You can get it at Sally's or your local beauty supply center or on Amazon. It's called No Lift Nail Primer. I adore this primer. I do have other primers, but she is my fave. Let me move my hair out the way. Got hairs everywhere. Let me see if I can get this camera a little closer so you babes have a better view. There we go. And I'm just going to go ahead and add this to every nail. I'm a weirdo, I know. I always like to put my first form on. And this no lift primer, you do not want to get it on the skin. You just want it on the nails. And I'm going to go ahead and do it on every nail, as this is what I would be doing if I did my own, as if I did my own set without recording. And like I said, I did not nip my cuticles, as I just nipped them. Was it yesterday? It was yesterday or the day before. Anytime I do a removal, I nip my cuticles, push them back, use my e-file, get all that stuff out underneath them, around them. So that's the only reason. Had I not done that, then you definitely need to nip your cuticles and do all that good stuff. Now I am going to come in with 2 coats of my favorite bond ever. This is by Young Nails. This bond is holy grail, amazing. Love, love, love this protein bond. And I always go in with 2 coats of bond. And if I'm just, I'm just rambling on here. But let's say I was doing a gel polish set, meaning I was going to add gel polish. When it gets to the point, whether it be you did your acrylic set, whether it be you did your gel set, I actually come in with this bond after I've buffed, filed, shaped the nails before I add can't talk right today. Before I add the nail polish, the gel polish, I go in with a coat of bond and I go over the complete nail and I do the edges and the tip. And I am telling you, if you do this, beauties, your gel polish will not chip. It will not peel off. But one thing that's really important, and I think I have a video where I talk about this with gel polish nails. On your first layer of gel polish, you want it nice and thin. You do not want to go in with a thick layer. You want it nice and thin. You want to cure for the full time, whether it be 30 seconds, 60 seconds, all gel systems tell you how long to cure for. It is very important to cure for that full time. Don't just do 10 or 15 seconds, pull them out and think, okay, ready for the next coat. I promise you, with good gel polish, if you cure for the full time, and then go in with your second coat, which your second coat, you can go a little thicker, and then cure for, whether it be 30, 60 seconds, you can actually file and buff a gel polish, and it's not going anywhere because it has completely adhered to the nail. Okay, I need to do the second coat on here. Forgot my second coat. Always 2 coats of bond. Especially if you have oily nail beds or your clients have oily nail beds. I highly suggest 2 coats of bond. I am telling you, my nails do not lift. They do not break. And I am heavy-handed. And you beauties see how long I do my nails. I do pretty extreme lengths. So I did that. Now I want to get my base gel. Where where's my base gel? Where's my base gel? Because whenever you are doing, let's see, is this base? Yep. Whenever you are doing gel sets, when using any gel product, you always want your base gel. Base gel, and one thing too, you do not need to cure. When you do your primer and protein bond, neither of these need to be cured in the lamp. Your base gel will be in the lamp, but your primer and your protein bond, they'll dry on their own. Let me move this stick so I can sanitize it. I have a bunch of those sticks. For myself, I'll sanitize and reuse. For somebody else, client, I will use it once and toss it. You can buy a whole huge baggie of them. So they're not expensive, and it's just me, for sanitary reasons, I just toss them once I use them. I'm using the Young Nails base gel. This is just very thin. You don't need to go on thick. The base gel is what's going to allow your concealer, whatever you're putting on. I'm not sure if I'm using concealer peach or concealer blush. But this is very thin. You don't need it thick. Most of the time, I'm not going to lie, I have my forms on every single finger. But I'm not sure how long this video is going to be, how many fingers I'm going to do and show you. Like I said, I might break it into 2 parts here, but you want the gel completely on the entire nail. And if you're trying to pick up speed, if you're new, these steps I'm doing, you don't have to. You saw how quick that I filed my nails. You saw how quick I applied that protein bond and primer. These steps you should be flying through. And I promise you, if you fly through these steps, your speed will pick up. As you don't need to sit there, and definitely push back the cuticles. Definitely, and I'm going to go ahead and turn my lamp on and set it for 30 seconds for the base gel that I just put on here. If your client's feeling, or you yourself are feeling, a burning sensation, you can set it to the 99 seconds and then just count down to 30. Let me clean this off in my gel residue solution. Another thing too, beauties, to keep your gel brush in shape, I'm using the number 8 gel brush by Glitter Planet, my favorite gel brush ever. This is actually a cleanup brush, but it is so amazing that I use it not only for cleanup when I'm doing my top coat or gel polishes, I use it for my gel sets. I'm in love with this brush. But to keep this brush in immaculate shape, when you're done using it, clean it off with a little gel residue clean off solution, dip it in a base gel, wipe it gently, and then just store it. I don't know if you can see how beautiful these bristles are, but they're amazing. And for gel, I like a firmer brush, and this brush is perfect. Absolutely perfect. So let's see what concealer blush looks like. I don't know if I want to do concealer blush or concealer peach. Ooh, that's concealer blush. She's so pretty. And let's see what concealer peach. I haven't used these in quite a while because I've been doing a lot of acrylic sets. And I may lay acrylic down on here too. When you do, ooh, that's beautiful too. Which one to use? Which one to use? Oh my goodness gracious. They're both so beautiful. I think I'm going to go with concealer blush. We'll do concealer blush. But you can use acrylics and gels together. Whether it be you're sculpting with acrylic and then you want to lay down gel, or you're sculpting with gel and you want to lay down acrylic. It is called hybrid nails. And I do sets like that all the time. I'm going to try to do this where I stay in the camera. But when I do this, the first part, and I'm barely squeezing. You don't need to squeeze a lot of this on. You don't need it lumpy. You want it nice and thin. I'm making sure that this is connecting to the side walls of my nails, to the tip of my nail. I do not want to lift this up, as every time you lift it off of the nail, it is going to form air bubbles, and you do not want air bubbles. And I typically would have my nail pointed down. You can always come and fix any areas that you think you might have missed. That's why it's best I leave the form on until I know my nail is perfected. Because as long as I leave this nail form on, I can add to it. I made sure it met the side walls. I'm just bringing out the length here. I think we'll go to a 4. I'm going to keep it a little shorter than I normally do. I know some of you are like, a 4 is not short. But I'm going to be doing a piercing, so I don't want it too extremely long. And I'm going to have to come away from the camera a little bit because I want to make sure my sidewall is connected here, and it's not. So I want to connect it there to my sidewall. It's very important that everything's connected to the natural nail. And take your time. That's why I said don't squeeze a lot of this product out. The cleaner you do your sets, the less filing time you will have. So even though you may think, oh yeah, I'm speeding creating this nail. Well, if you do it all bulky, you are going to have a ton of filing time later. Sorry, I'm doing this away from the camera, but I have to see what I'm making. I'm making sure, right now I'm making sure my sidewalls connected. And if it's running down, it's fine. You can just use the tip of this applicator to perfect it. Or you can take your gel brush and just swipe along the edge. and get it up to where you want it to go. Doing your own hands is so different than doing a client's hand because you can see all angles. And one thing I noticed is that I need a little bit more product right here, but I'm going to go ahead and flash cure this for 30 seconds just so everything I've done can be held into place. One thing that's nice about gel nails, I equally love gel and acrylic. They have their own benefits. Gel has no smell to it. So if you're a beauty who cannot handle the smell of monomer, well, gel is the way to go. Always make sure too with your lamp that you have all your gel products away from the lamp, babes. And I'm going to cure for the full 30 seconds. And I know you beauties are going to think I'm crazy, but I always pinch my gel sets too. It's a habit. I pinch. I'm not, for gel sets, I'm not pinching for a curve. I'm pinching so everything that's by the sidewall and on the sides will adhere nicely to the nail. So even though I need more product, I'm still going to get my pinching tool. And I'm going to just quickly give this a quick pinch. I always compare this to concrete workers. When they set concrete, they put in forms, and adding those strong forms makes everything hold nice and into shape. So I'm just putting a little slight pressure just so I know the gel that I adhered to the sides of my nails is going to be beautifully secured. Now I'm going to come in and add a little acrylic. Add a little gel to this area that I missed here. One thing with gel, nothing is set in stone until you put it in the lamp. So you can play with it. You can make sure everything's right. But if you have to do it in steps, then do it in steps. If you have to just build out, you know, where you would adhere it to the nail, and then, you know, you're like, oh, I don't want it to go anywhere, then flash cure it. And then just slowly build. Just remember, every time that you lift your gel brush or this acrylic applicator away from the tip, away from the set, it can create bubbles. So especially if you're doing those glass nail tips, you don't want a bunch of bubbles. You want it to look nice and clear like glass. And I'm barely adding any pressure to this. I'm just bringing it up to the tip where I know it needs more product. Keeping everything nice and thin. I can't say that enough about keeping things nice and thin. And I'll show you why. Now I'm going to get my gel brush here. And run it alongside here so it's nice and clean. All sides have product. There we go, into the lamp for 30 seconds. So the reason I like keeping my nails nice and thin is when I do take my form off, before I continue to add more layers onto my nails, I file them into shape. Because why wait until you add all those other products and then try to file them? So I use my metal nail file and I will file it and make sure it's into the shape that I want. Because I added that to the sidewall, I'm just going to quickly pinch. And normally, babes, I have forms on every hand and I'm just kind of, you know, adding, going. But for video purpose sake, I wanted to show you beauties this. A little trick I have that I'm going to show you before I add before I add it to the rest of my nail, I do take a little builder gel. Gloss. Build. I take a little build and I go over the nail just in case I've missed any little crack or nick or any little area. I know that this build will secure it. So I just take a little tiny bit of build. And I'm almost painting it in a painting-like motion. Starting at my side walls, I'm painting it like almost like a polish onto my nail. But the reason I'm doing this is I want to make sure that there are no cracks, that I did not miss anything by my sidewall to my natural nail. It really has nothing to do with the tip of this nail. That I'm going to clean my brush off with gel residue solution and just gently wipe along the side just in case. And this may seem like I'm doing a long process, but when you're working on other nails, like I said, typically I'd have other forms on and I'd be doing different things, these steps with all of my nails. So I'm just going. I just wanted to show you one or two nails and how I do them, beauties. So it's now out of the lamp. So now I have my natural nail right here that I need to add product to build it out. You can hear this. It's dry. I could take the form off, but I don't want to take the form off yet. Some take the form off right now. I don't. And remember, when you're adding your gel to your natural nail, you want to keep it nice and thin. Do not create a big bulk. If you do this, you are going to have bulky nails. If you like a bulky nail, then that's fine. I'm just going to make sure that I build my apex up, which is always 3/4 up from my nail, which is right here. That's where my apex is going to be. And I'm just going to gently, gently push a little bit of the gel product onto my nail. I don't need a lot. I don't need a lot. I think a lot of beauties, you know, just go in and whether it be you're applying it with the Precision Gel Applicator bottle, and you can use these containers too. They have all these colors in here as well. Or you can squeeze some of this out on a tile and pick it up and apply it that way. Just make sure you're not lifting your brush up a lot. So now I'm going to do my apex and my cuticle area. I'm not going to apply the gel by my cuticle area. If I do this, it's going to create a big bulk. I'm going to start it right here, 3/4 up from my nail. Gently squeeze out a little of the product. I'm starting my apex. Very little product is needed. Because you can blend this into your nail. This is where my gel brush comes in. I know on a lot of the young nail videos, they do the whole thing with this gel applicator bottle. I just stringy it up a little bit right here. Very, very lightly, I'm squeezing it. I'm barely, not even squeezing it. I'm using a wiping motion, a twirly motion, where I'm just twirling it towards my cuticle. Then I'm going to have to look this way. Sorry, babes. I'm looking this way so I can make sure I get my little side here. Do you see that, babes? Do you see how thin that is? It's super, super, super thin. You can get your brush. I'm dumping it into a little of the gel residue solution. And I'm just brushing a little of the gel onto the nail. Then I'm going to flip my nail this kind of in a twirly motion. Make sure all of the nails covered. I'm then going to flip my nail upside down just for about 10 or 15 seconds, as I want the gel to level out into the apex area where I created that, where I laid down that first piece of gel. I'm going to turn my lamp on now for 60 seconds, and I'm going to hold it upside down just for a few seconds, for like count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm going to flip it over and let it finish curing for the full 60 seconds. And babes, I'll just let you watch me do this process. I'll do this on one other nail. And after this cures for 60 seconds, this is when I will take my form off, file the nail into the shape that I want, And what I did is I went a little bit past the 4 because I want my nails to be a 4. And I know I'm going to be filing off a little bit of the tip. So I went to a 5. That way you have a little wiggle room to play with. Because if I would have gone just to a 4 and then started filing this nail, which is kind of looking right now like a stiletto, I'm going to tap, tap, tap. Pinch these sidewalls in. Don't pay attention if anything looks unlevel because we will level it out. Now I'll just squeeze my little form here. And voila! We have a nail. We have a nail. Don't worry about the shape. So now I know there's areas I need to fill because I see right here where I need to add more product. But before I do that, I am going to shape it. And when I do this, I hold with my thumb because this is, even though it's hard, it's delicate. I hold with my thumb. I want to get to my 100. You know, I just realized I don't have my 100 on here. We'll use the 150 and I'll grab my 100 for my next one. But I hold with my thumb while I'm filing, as I do not want this nail to break. These metal files are so must-haves. You can use this finger here to hold the side while you're filing. It is very secure, but you don't want this nail to break. And if you notice, let me do the nail so you can see. You see that on the sides. It's okay. That's what's amazing about this nail file. You don't need to use scissors to cut. Just get underneath it. Get underneath it. And file it into shape. Very little filings needed. I do a motion like this to make sure I got all those little deals underneath that I do not want, because I want my nail nice and smooth underneath. Yes, I do. And see how the tip is right now? If I wanted to go stiletto, I could go stiletto. But I'm doing the charm, so I'm going to hold it. See, I'm holding my tip. When you're doing your own sets, do what works for you. That is the best advice I can give. But always, always, always have some support when filing it. There we have it, nice and pretty. Look at that pretty nail. Look at that pretty nail. Now I do see, because I'm looking at it right here, where I need to add a little bit more right here just to build her up. I don't need to add anything else right here. If I add something else right here, it is going to be bulky. You don't need to do that. You still have, especially if you're encapsulating glitters, you still got to add your clear top coat. There's so much stuff, you know what I mean? If you're adding embellishments, this is what keeps the cuticle area nice and thin and pretty, is just gently pushing the cuticle, the gel into the cuticle area. Always hold your nail down when doing that too. That way it won't run into your cuticle area. And I'm going to go ahead and get my buffer. Where's my buffer? This is the 100-180 buffer by Glitter Planet. I'm going to buff this nail out a little bit. See what needs to be done. And I'm telling you, babes, it seems like, I know you're like, gosh, you could do all this later. I'm telling you, it saves so much time later. Why wait till you add everything else to the nail, whether it be more gel, more acrylic, encapsulated glitters, embellishments? Do it all now so you know what you need. And that way, when you're going in to file your nail later, all you're doing is simply shaping it. I want to do this, so this is how I do my sets. Just as you're seeing them now. Go underneath. It'll grab any unnecessary. Do you see that, babes? I can hit the cuticle area a little bit. But you see nothing ran over my cuticle. It's nice and thin by my cuticle. I want to leave it that way. Don't want to add any more gel to it. But in doing this, I do see that I need to add a little bit more right here. So I'm going to do that. Let me get one of my little lint-free wipes from Glitter Planet. A little swipe, clean off this dust. And because I'm going to add a little bit more to that area, I'm going to add a little base gel. It's this area right here. I can see that it needs a little more. I just noticed a little area that I missed here. Don't want no lumps or bumps because I don't want to add to it and have a bunch of lumps and bumps that I have to take out. And I can hit some more with my e-file too. All right, where's my swipe thing? Wipe this off. You don't want any dust on the nail when working on it. Get underneath. And let me make sure I'm using that. It's my build. Dip my brush in my gel residue solution. Get the base. And I'm going to apply the base right in here. And it's okay if you get the base on your corners. I'm just applying the base right in this area where I'll be applying a little bit more gel. Not a lot, just a little. I'm pulling it over the whole nail in case I need to brush a little on there. But nothing more is going onto my cuticle. Nothing. My cuticle area is fine. It's connected. It's on there. It's thin. It's not bulky. There's no reason to add anything to that. Cover blush is so pretty. I don't know if you babes can see, but it has like a little sparkle to it. It's so pretty. So now I'm just going to add, normally I have my nail like this, but I don't think you'll be able to see it like this. So I'm trying to do it at an angle where you beauties can see where I'm adding it in. I'm barely squeezing. And when I have enough product, I stop squeezing. And I just add the product. This nail of mine is a little funny shaped. It has a weird, I don't know, I want to say curve and hump to it. So I'm used to doing this with it, whether it be with acrylic or with gel. I always have to do this to this nail, where I have to make sure it's evened out so it's nice and pretty. And I'm just working it to the tip to give it a little more strength. This is the excess. A little more strength won't hurt it, and it's not going to look all thick and bulky. What makes the nail look thick and bulky is when you have that cuticle area so ridiculously thick and bulky. I'm just kind of getting in that little area, my natural nail line. Going a little above it there so it's nice and even. And I think I perfected it. Let me make sure I always like standing my tubes up. But you can see if you look at it now, it's nice and even. There's no dips. There's no curves. Don't worry if you see any little jagged edges or anything. All that is going to be filed nicely. Use my brush to touch up the sides. And into the lamp this goes. I'm going to flip it 60 seconds, flip it upside down for about 10 seconds, and then I'll flip it the other way. But that's my process, babes. That's how I do it. I'm going to do all my nails like this. And then I decided I'm going to do some piercings on a couple nails. And I'm sure I'll throw some glitters on here. I can't imagine a set without a few glitters. Actually, I might use the Stunning Laser Lights. She is so pretty. She is gorgeous. She's one of my favorite glitters. She is so beautiful. I have so many glitters to choose from, though. I don't know. I might just add Princess and a little Diamond Dust just to make it look... I don't want to go too extravagant because I want my charms to be what stands out in my nails. And there we have it, babes. Yes, I'm going to pinch again because I added it to the side. Just a quick pinch. I put a little bit of pressure for like 5-10 seconds on there. And I am telling you, I have 2 pinchers because when I'm doing a set on somebody else, I'm pinching, doing a nail, pinching, doing a nail, pinching, doing a nail. I want to keep my speed going. I'm just going slower here so I can show you the process. But look at that beautiful nail. Look at how gorgeous she is. Let's take this pinching tool off. Underneath looks spectacular. Look at that. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and I will finish off camera all these nails, and then I'll come back on camera when I'm doing my glitter application, just so these videos aren't too extremely long. And it'll be a second part with me decorating my nails with glitters and adding the charms. I truly hope you enjoy these videos, beauties. I do them all for you. I'm still trying to reach 1,000. So please share my videos. I so appreciate it. And look at this nail. Look at this nail. She's not even done yet, but she's already looking pretty. I'll hop back on for part 2 once all my nails are done. And we'll add, you know, some glitters, and we will pierce a couple of the nails and add some charms. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet subscribed, I would love, love, love for you to subscribe to my channel. Yes, I would. And share my videos. My goal is to reach 700. It feels so funny just talking. And of course I did my middle finger, so I'm trying not to hold it up. I'm like, look at this nail right here. I don't want to do it this way because it's going to look bad. But she's not even done yet, beauties. And look how stunning she is. Do you see that glitter in there? She is gorgeous. Yes, she is. All right, beauties. Once finished with all my nails, I'll hop on for part 2. And we'll decorate these up with glitters. Mwah. I love all you beauties. And I hope you are all having an amazing day. And never lose your sparkle. Bye-bye. I decided to, I have finished this set. Well, I haven't finished it, but I sculpted this set out. But I'm doing my non-dominant hand right now. And I have a video where I did my non-dominant hand. And I believe I was doing acrylic. So I'm just going to lower the camera and show you how I do my non-dominant hand when doing a gel set. Very similar to when I'm doing acrylic. And please note this hand is not done. I just sculpted these out, removed the forms. I still, I lightly did the edges with my metal nail file, but I still got to perfect them. So one thing I love about these infinity forms is they stick so amazing. To this hand right here, the only one that I had to trim to fit was for my thumb. I've always had that issue with my thumb. But for all the other nails on this hand, this infinity form fit perfect. So I'm just going to lower the camera and show you how I add the gel to my non-dominant hand. I think that's close enough. It's the same way I did my first hand. I just hold my hand at a little bit different of an angle. And whenever you're working with your non-dominant hand, you just do what works for you. So normally I'm like this. I'm not gonna lie, I'm like this. I like holding my hand down. I like sculpting where I can see it, but I don't have one of those head pieces that I believe Michelle Manny's has. I think that's what she has, where when I'm looking down, I don't know if it's a headpiece, but it's some form of a camera. When you're looking it down, it's showing what you're looking at. So typically I would not be holding my hand like this. I'd be holding my hand like this. So I'm looking directly at it, but I'm trying to do it to where I can show you beauties. So let's see if I can do this. I already have gel, I'm sorry, base gel on all these nails. You saw me in the beginning. And now I'm simply squeezing the gel. The most important part is making sure your gel is touching and connecting with the free edge of your natural nail, getting the sides. Remember, when using these applicators or even when applying with a brush, don't go thick and bulky. Thick and bulky is going to cause yourself a ton of e-filing and filing time later. Trust me on this one. Just go thin, and I'm lightly squeezing. The majority of this gel that you're seeing right now is me just pushing out the gel along the form. Do you notice how I'm not lifting it? It's constantly connected. Constantly connected. I do not want bubbles in my nail. And normally with colors like this, it's okay. But to get in the habit of doing it this way is really good. So when you're doing your clear sets, you don't have bubbles. You have that beautiful clear base. And then what I do is I just squeeze a little, and I'm bringing it down. Remember, I'm going to a 4, so I'm passing up my 4, and don't pay attention to how it looks on the sides. All that's going to be fixed. I'm passing up my 4, going slightly past it because I'm going to be filing some of this off. I'm going to turn my nail to the left. It doesn't matter if you turn it to the left or the right. I still have not lost contact with the nail. And like I said, if you need to take a break and just do your free edge and then stop and just zap it in a lamp for 30 minutes, then do that. You can do that. We're going to put this like this. I'm going to take a look at it here. I'm going to dip my brush in my gel residue solution, wipe it off. And I'm going to turn my nail this way, and I want to make sure it's connected. It is. And I'm just gently swiping my brush along the form. Same thing on here. Dip my nail in the gel residue solution. Me dipping my nail in the gel residue solution is simply cleaning my brush. Make sure it's connected to the side, which it is. And I'm running my brush along the side there. This is what I do. If you have a different way of doing it, that's great. But working with my non-dominant hand, this is what I do. So this is how the nail looks. I'm going to go ahead and put it, let me double check it one more time, because sometimes when you move it around, like I did right now, you got to work fast with gel. That's why I said if you need to just do your free edge and zap it, that is fine. And do it in pieces, into 3 pieces, that is fine. And then I'm just going to put it in my lamp for 60 seconds and do a little cure on it and then pinch it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off my non-dominant hand. I just wanted to hop back on because I know I had a bunch of beauties ask me with gel, how do I do my non-dominant hand? And this is how I do it. The reason I'm using, oh my gosh, I can't think right tonight. My brain's so dead. The reason that I'm using the concealer peach and not doing a clear tip is because this is going to be a set I'll wear for a couple weeks and then I'll take it off. And when you take off gel sets, you don't soak. You can e-file down if you want. I don't. I just clip it right here on my free edge where my nail meets. I'm really comfortable doing that. Snip them off, e-file them down, and I'm good for a new set. Doing fills is so time consuming. It's more time consuming to do a fill than just to do a new set. So that is why I didn't put a clear layer down. With gel, it's so much easier. So unless your client wants the same design and they just want to fill, great. But if they want something new, give them a new set. It's so simple to take off. It saves you a ton of time. Like I said, it adds so much time trying to, do a fill. I'm going to pinch this set. I don't know if you see that beautiful sparkle. Look at that beautiful sparkle in there. It's so pretty. All right, beauties, I'm going to hop back off, but I will hop back on when I add my decals, my little piercing on my nail. I might not hop on for the piercing, but I will for the adding my design. All right, beauties, I'm going to go ahead and hop off and finish off this hand so I can go ahead and get this set done.